Welcome to my channel Code with Fernando. In this video we are going to see Docker Compose. Okay, so what is Docker Compose? Docker Compose is a tool that allows us to define and run multiple container applications using a single configuration file. Instead of manually starting multiple containers using Docker run commands, we can use a single YAML file. This name will be docker-compose.yml to manage them all. How does it work? First of all, define the services containers in a Docker Compose file. Then run Docker Compose app to stop all containers together. Docker Compose automatically handles networking volumes and dependencies between containers. This is really amazing. Okay, example, our web application may require a backend, Spring Boot, Node, okay, database, MySQL, Postgres, Mongo, MongoDB, okay, and a cache service like Redis or Mincache. Instead of running each service separately, Docker Compose lets you start them all at once with a single command. Key takeaway: Docker Compose simplifies multiple container applications by managing services in a single, easy-to-use YAML configuration file. Problem with running multiple containers manually. Using the Docker CLI, we must start each container individually with separate commands, manually set up networking between containers, configure volumes and environment variables manually, ensure containers start in the correct order. A database must start before an app that depends on it. So imagine that we have a project with 15 or 20 microservices. By doing that, we will take a lot of time. So instead of that, we just use the Docker Compose. Problems: have to manage as the number of services grows. Difficult to scale because manual commands are error prone. We might make a mistake, right? No centralized configuration for environment variables and networking. Key takeaway: using the CLI to manage multiple containers is complex, repetitive, and inefficient. Docker Compose automates the process. Finally, advantages of Docker Compose: simplify multi-container management. Instead of running multiple Docker run commands, we define everything in a single Docker Compose file. Stop all services at once with Docker Compose app and stop them with the Docker Compose DAO. So by using these two commands, we have all our services running up, Docker Compose app and Docker Compose DAO. Automatic network between containers. Docker Compose creates a dedicated network where containers can communicate by name instead of the API addresses. No need to manually use the link or configure network settings. Environment configuration made easy. We can define environment variables inside the Docker Compose file. Easily switch between development, testing, and production setups. Persistent data with volumes. Easily define volumes to store data that remains even after containers are stopped. Consistency across environments. Developers can share the Docker Compose file so the same environment runs on any machine. It ensures all dependencies are correctly set up without manual configuration. So let's see this one in action. Okay, let's continue with Docker Compose demo. So first of all, I just want to show you that we don't have any container running right now, okay? However, we do. We have our images, 3 of them: accounts, loads, and curves. All of them tagged with B1. So we have 3 microservices: accounts, curve, and loads. We need to create a file. This file will be called docker-compose.yml. So we can write this file in whatever microservice we want. So I'm gonna create this file in accounts microservices. So new file, it's docker compose YAML. Okay, that's it. In here is where the magic happens. We need to write services. Okay, services defines the containers that will be managed by the Docker Compose. Then accounts, okay, after accounts, image. In here we need to write our username, right? Nando K94. Here the name of our image, in this case will be accounts B1. Okay, that's it. Let me check. Accounts B1. Okay, that's okay. So we need to copy this and add this tag at the end. Okay, image. Now container name. Container name, it assign a custom container name. So we are going to call this name, this container will be accounts microservices. After that, ports. Okay, 8080, 8080, 8080. So this is really interesting. This line of code maps port 8080 of the container to port 8080 on the host machine. Okay, then deploy resources, limits and memory. This is not mandatory. This is not mandatory. However, if we don't have too much memory on our computer, it's really important to do that. So I'm showing this so you can have more options to do that. 700 memory. So this limits the container's memory usage to only 700 megabytes of memory. Okay, now we are going to copy this. The first one is for accounts. The other one will be for loans, and finally for cards. It's going to be quite similar. Okay, this one will be for cards. The other one will be for loans. Okay, loans. Oh, here's a mistake. Fernando's K94. Okay, SK. You make a mistake in here, so it's quite difficult to understand what's going on after that. Okay, okay, okay. And here would be, it's not account, it would be loans. Okay, so we are going to name this loans, and it's not 8080. In this case will be 1890. Okay. In this case will be carved. Also in here, carved. Okay. And the port will be a 9000. 9000. Okay. Okay. So now we go to our folder in which this Dockerfile is located. In this case, located in accounts folder, in accounts microservices. So we are located in them. So the next step is to write this command, docker compose app. Okay, in detach mode. So let me check one more time this. There's no running container right now. There is no running container. We have our three images in here. So we are going to start our docker compose. Great, it's working. Okay, so let's go to containers in here. Garbage container is running, launch container is running, and account container is running. Okay, great. So let's verify this. Gonna close all of these, and we are going to create an account. Again, we know there's a mistake in here. It's really important to do that. So we have three microservices now, but they are not communicating to each other. So here's a mistake, my mistake. So I'm gonna delete this because we don't need that right now. So we need to add a way so these three microservices communicate to each other. So how do we do that? By adding networks. Okay. In here we will look for a name. What about bank? Okay, bank. And driver will be bridge. Okay, so in here we are going to write networks. Name will be bank. Okay, that's it. Okay, name will be bank. Great. So in this same line of deploy, we write networks bank. Okay, and we are going to do the same here in the first microservices, in accounts microservices, networks Okay, and bank. Okay, so Docker Compose app again. Okay, let's check on Postman. Let's create an account. Okay, great. Let's create a loan. Great. Now let's create a card.